Hey, escalation clauses are pretty much the norm these days. There's a shortage of listings and multiple offers coming in on most properties. So, what happens when there are multiple escalation clauses or when they are all very similar? I'm Jana Classy, and my husband and I are realtors here in the Eastern Panhandle. And I'm going to go over what an escalation clause is, how multiple escalation clauses work against each other, and then some ideas on how to make your escalation clause stand out from the others. First, let's define an escalation clause. It's a stipulation that you will go X amount of dollars above any other offer up to a certain point, and that would be the most you'd be willing to pay for the property. Your offer, along with the escalation, is probably going to be in competition with other offers and other escalation clauses. So let's use an example of a home priced at $200,000 with 3 offers and 3 escalation clauses. First offer has an escalation clause with increments of $1,000 above any other offer up to $215,000. Second offer, $2,000 increments up to $215,000. Third offer, $2,500 increments up to $221,000. So, from a price perspective, which of these offers is best, and what would the final offer end up at? So, this is how it would work. All the offers would escalate over each other until they topped out. And 2 of them top out at $215,000. The third offer hasn't topped out yet because his top off is a price of $221,000, and his escalation increment is $2,000. So offer 3 goes up $2,000 above $215,000, which was the top off number of the other 2 offers. So the highest offer would be $217,000, and that's the $2,000 plus the $215,000. Yeah, it can get pretty complicated when you have several offers with escalation clauses, especially if they're pretty much the same. And that is usually the case because buyers these days have access to market value data either online or through their realtor, so they have an idea of market value. So here's some ideas to consider to make your escalation clause stand out. First, the typical escalation increment is $500 or $1,000. So consider upping that amount because $500 or $1,000 is not going to make much difference to the seller. $2,000 or more could very well make a difference. So make your escalation amount $2,000 or more over any other offer. So that's the first point. Make your escalation an amount that will make a difference. And here's something else. Most of the time, the typical top-off number is going to be in $5,000 brackets. So that would be $225,000, $230,000, $235,000. And that's what I see most of the time. So do your escalation in between those numbers. If the highest you're willing to pay is $225,000, then consider stretching that a little bit to $227,000. So that at least will put you ahead of the other offers that top out at $225,000. And here's something else I advise buyers on when they do an escalation clause. One of the worries that sellers have when they get escalation clauses is that driving up the price like that will cause the property not to appraise. So if you include an escalation clause in your offer, you should offer to cover the difference if the appraisal doesn't meet your escalated offer up to a certain point. So if the listing price for a home is $200 and your escalated offer is $212, then specify in your offer that you will cover the difference if the appraisal comes in between $200 and $212. So this is just one more thing that will put sellers' mind at ease. So to recap, make your escalation increase slightly higher than what is typical. Make your top off between the $5,000 brackets we talked about, and then finally offer to cover the difference if your escalated offer is higher than the appraisal. So those are the things that help your offer stand out if you include an escalation clause. And you know, price is not the only thing that's weighed when a seller is deciding on what offer they will accept. Cash usually win if other things are equal. Fewer contingencies, the better. Maybe the seller likes a particular buyer for some reason. So price is not the only thing that goes into making a decision on the seller side, but it is a big part of it. And I just wanted to share with you my thoughts on escalation clauses because they are a fact of life these days, and wanted to give you some ideas on how to make them work for you. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and any questions about any of this or anything else, we are always available and we would love to help. Our number is 304-264-2828. Okay, thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.